stream at midnight time and Ukrainian time. Hello my friends, best greetings from Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. My name is Victor Fursov. I'm research entomologist, beekeeper and teacher. And today is 26th day of July 2023 and we have time and opportunity to talk about Saturniidae silk moths. I'm studying parasitic Hymenoptera, these tiny parasitic wasps of superfamily Calcidoideae and family Trichogrammatide small egg parasitoids. They are also sometimes parasitoids of silk moths. But today we will be talking about Lepidoptera, not about butterflies. If you like butterflies, yes, butterflies, these are butterflies flying in daytime. So we say daily butterflies, but there are a lot of nocturnal moths, tiny, small, middle-sized, and giant moths. And they are flying in nighttime, in midnight time. So we enjoy midnight time for searching host plant and for searching other sex for mating. So it's possible to collect them in midnight. So it's difficult and not many people know that nocturnal moths are flying in the mid-time and they're absolutely beautiful and they sometimes have a pretty big size. And today I have an opportunity to tell you the story about silk moths, which are relatively big, not the biggest. I will show you and I show you our living specimens because today I came from my job and evening time I found on my window sitting moth, living American moon moth, Actias luna, and I will tell you about it. But don't forget that I'm telling you the stories about butterflies, about moths. Everything is so good, so beautiful, so lovely. Life is so good, nature is absolutely beautiful around. And in Ukraine, everyone is enjoying coffee, tea, enjoying life. Don't forget that Ukraine is now in a very harsh situation. Ukraine is now fighting for independence. Ukraine is fighting for liberty, for the independence of state, for freedom of democracy. So that's why stand with Ukraine, support Ukraine. Press like for this video, subscribe to my channel, and stand with Ukraine to support other bloggers who are talking about Ukrainian history. But I'm talking about biology of different insects, about biology and about entomology, the science of entomology. Despite our soldiers fighting for independence of Ukraine, I'm not so young to be in the army, but I stand with Ukraine and I support Ukrainian army. So press like for support Ukraine. If you do not like it, please press dislike and I don't worry about it. Unsubscribe from my channel. Completely, I do not worry about it at all. I have a lot of friends who are devoted biologists, who are devoted entomologists, who are devoted beekeepers and teachers, and who stand with Ukraine and support Ukraine. Support my channel as well. I'll start to tell you about silk moths. By the way, do you know about moths something? Silk moths, this is one domesticated species. Bombixmoria family Bombicidae, sorry about it. And this is the species Bombixmoria, not so big one, about 4 centimeter size, 45 millimeters. This wide. This is not Bombixmoria, it's 2 small individuals from collection of my friend Oleg from Chernigov region. He sent me this is small collection for exposition to show you some stark beetles and some butterflies and some moths. And here, these are silk moths, Bombixmoria. Bombixmoria is producing silk, which is used for commercial purposes, for industrial purposes, for making clothes, high quality, the highest quality silk. And where is silk? Silk is coming from cocoons, from these tiny cocoons. Yes, caterpillars, they're producing cocoons. Yeah, this white moths, they lay eggs moths, females lay eggs. From eggs, larvae or caterpillars are coming, hatching. They're eating, feeding on mulberry leaves, and then just caterpillars, they're just pupating and making this kind of cocoons. They're pupating. And these cocoons are were collected. These were collected by a leg, by the way, with exit holes, because these individuals just hatched from cocoons. And so a new generation is coming. And these silk moths, Bombyx mori, they have very small wings, very small wings. They are not wingless, but they're moveless. So they cannot fly as normal moths. So they cannot fly because they're domesticated for 1,000 years in China, in Japan, in other Asian countries, and then they just secretly spread all around the world. And now this is not a secret at all. But not everyone has seen Bombyx mori. These white moths, this one. These are silk moths, Bombyx mori. But other moths were also called silk moths, and they are belonging to the family Saturniidae. And these moths were quite big. As I said, these cocoons, and inside cocoons there are some pupae sitting inside. So here I cannot see pupae inside, but these are other pupae of hawk moth, so they do not make cocoon. So some moths were making cocoons, some others they do not make cocoons. So this is not a rubbish, this is not some piece of dust. Yeah, this is living organism. This is not living organism, this is dead pupa, just for exhibition, for collection. But in other cocoons, they were sitting here inside. In other pupa have been sitting inside this lovely, so enjoyable silk moth cocoons. So what's about our moths? Our moths, they're sitting here in other jar, because I separated them carefully, because moths, as I said, they are nocturnal. They prefer to fly, and they emerged from these white cocoons. I showed 1 week ago this cocoon, this piece of these branches with these two white cocoons. Yes, this white cocoon and this one. One is brownish and one is whitish, but inside the larvae, not larvae, initially the larvae, caterpillar were making this cocoon from a silk, produced from silk glands, and then appeared this cocoon, and here there are two exit holes. Moth just came out, emerged from this cocoon. So beautiful moth, and I will show you this moth. I have another cocoon, this gray one, and this bigger one. This is a female, and this is a male, and they belong to another moth. These two different cocoons. One big one, quite heavy, and another one is much smaller. This is a male. The small one is a male. This is a big one, a female. And they are belonging to also silk moths of this genus and this species, giant peacock moth, or Saturniidae in Latin name. Saturniidae in Latin name. This species is included in the Red Book of Protected Species in Ukraine and other countries, in many countries of Europe. Fortunately, in many countries of Europe, that's not protected species and living in Indonesia. In Ukraine, it's living also in Indonesia, more or less in the southern region of Ukraine. But I got this beautiful cocoons from larvae, from caterpillars at home in the laboratory. And now I will show you another. This is Saturnia pavonia. I show you carefully Saturnia pavonia. You see, and this is Saturniidae, giant peacock moth. quite a big one, approximately with this size, 10-12 centimeters or up to 15 centimeters size, so quite a big one. Approximately like other big, I show you like other big silk moths. For instance, this is oak silk moth, Anternae pernii. I collected it in a biological laboratory in China. I got it just a gift from China, so I brought some cocoons home a few years ago, and just this beautiful moth, this beautiful silk moth, oak silk moth, just hatched in the midnight in winter, and it was a great big surprise, very funny. And it was about our living individual. I'm trying to show you carefully if they will not escape, because as I said, I have two individuals. I cannot be very happy about exhibition, but who knows? This one. Oi. And this one. This one. This is a male of Actias luna, American moon moth. Originally, the culture was received from Canada by some Lepidopterists in Ukraine. So this species is bred in captivity. So some Lepidopterists in Ukraine keeping them in captivity just for curiosity and maybe for possibility of introduction. I don't like this possibility of introduction, because there is another species, Actias artemis, which is living in other areas in Far East of Palearctic region. Actias artemis is very similar with this one, so it can be like kind of invasive species. So this is a male. Male has a very nice hairy antennae, very nice one. Not so heavy, but quite a beautiful one. Yeah. Pink green color. And you see about 10 centimeters size. How big one? 12 centimeters size. 12 centimeters lifespan. Saturniidae. Moths very interesting because they do not feed on sugar in syrup, so you don't need to feed them because they have not developed mouth parts, so that's why you need only to keep them carefully in container if you like to receive them for mating purposes. And this is a male, and I show you more active female. I'm afraid about it because female is more active and can escape easily, who knows. Female is very heavy. Sorry. One container fell down. Yes! This is lovely. Female. I'm sorry. And another one. Female has a very tiny antennae, not so hairy. Yes, you see, this is a male and this is female. Female has quite a big body big abdomen, and male has a very small body, but very big antennae. Yes, and female looks pretty nice as well. If they will be okay, they can be mating in captivity, and we can receive next generation. It means we can receive some eggs in container, and eggs will be hatching. Some caterpillars can be hatched from eggs. Very nice, very big, very fat abdomen. We can produce a lot of eggs. I guess more than 100 eggs can be produced from this lovely female. Oh, wait. Too much light. Let's see. Greenish color, yellow and green color. Very pale green color. So originally this species is living in North America, in Canada, so we don't have this species in Indonesia, so we're keeping it only in captivity for a little bit for curiosity and scientific purposes, to modify the breeding technique, how to breed species of Saturniidae in captivity. Saturnia piri, which I showed you, just this trichocon. This is native species, so it can be easily bred. Not easily, so very carefully can be bred in laboratory. So this big cocoon, female, and big and small cocoon, male. Saturniidae piri can be bred in laboratory or at home, and then just can be released in the nature. But this one, better don't release, because this is not native species. But even if you release, maybe 99% of generation of caterpillars can be eaten by predators, like different birds, maybe some lizards as well, because you see, moth is quite big in size, as I said, about 12 centimeters lifespan. 12 and a half centimeters lifespan. So this nice American moon moth. So if you have interest in breeding of caterpillars, daily butterflies, or night moths, so it's possible to search for Lepidopterist online, ask them about the species which they are breeding, and ask for eggs or caterpillars. So after that, you can receive some host plants just in a forest, in a park, if this is native species. Like, for instance, for Saturniidae piri native plant species, apple, cherry, plum, blackhorn, walnut, elm. For this one, I use just walnut, so very easy to breed it, and maybe cherry as well, also possible to use. So I used walnut, so caterpillars are growing very fast. And how to use walnut? Yes, I just collected these leaves. Very simple, very easy way. Collect leaves like that and give it just to small caterpillars. Small caterpillars which just hatching out from eggs. I have caterpillars initially still. My friend sent me some eggs just for curiosity reason and for making some video. So these eggs produced larvae or caterpillars, and caterpillars are sitting inside this jar. Here there is some kind of humidity inside, and there are leaves of walnut like this, many of them inside. Yes, these leaves inside. So caterpillars hatched already maybe 3 days ago, and I do not show them because many of them here, more than 20 caterpillars sitting in 2 containers. Still I keep them separately because they are small and can easily escape, because often, if you check leaves, caterpillars becoming very active in stress, so they're crawling around, trying to escape, and also they're coming to make new instars, so that's why they're crawling around and you can kill them. That's why container is small. When we will be growing and more visible, initially we have just size about 1-2 millimeters. Second instar already has about 6-7 millimeters size. We already made 1-2 maybe instars, so now it's instar of a third or second or third level, so second or third instar. Now here in size about 6, 7, 10 millimeters, so already visible, but very tiny and very fragile caterpillars of the first instar, so must be very careful. When we will be growing and much bigger, maybe more than 15 millimeters, so I can keep them separately, maybe in other big container, to give them more fresh air and more capacity to move around, because here a little bit space for 20 caterpillars. For 10 maybe good enough. Yes, maybe for 10 or less than for 10, this 6 liters container can be good enough. So they are not poisonous, caterpillars are not poisonous, so easy to breed, very easy to breed. And by this moth, American moon moth, is pretty enjoyable, so you can recognize so very. In northern parts of Canada, this species produces just only 1 generation, but in southern areas, like in southern areas in America, it may have 2 generations or 3 generations. So I guess in captivity, this species can produce also about 3 generations before overwintering in making just this type of cocoons somewhere in September time. So now it's time for 2nd generation, maybe 3rd one can be in August as well. So this is nice night moth, Saturniidae, not Saturn, of family Saturniidae, and genus name Actias, species Luna, or American moon moth. See, lovely, and you can see abdomen is pretty big one, white, covered with scales. But it was active, now it became a little bit calm and quiet. So far so good. This is a story about American moon moth, how it's going on. If you are interested in some caterpillars, in some Lepidoptera moth, search for Lepidopterist, ask questions in comments. So maybe some Lepidopterists who are breeding different butterflies and night moths can write their comments or press likes. Or you can write which species do you keep at home. Is it difficult to keep them? And what are you doing with your collected material? Because sometimes if you have more than 5-10 specimens, they are dying, and you can receive more dead individuals. Sometimes of a good quality, maybe you are making kind of collection to sell it. So write what are you doing with your collection, how it's interesting for people. I use this specimen just for educational purposes, to create this video and maybe to show it for students in some exhibitions about entomology or in some lectures in entomology. So thank you for watching. Write your comments, ask your questions, and don't forget, stand with Ukraine. Ukraine is fighting for independence, so For Ukraine is forever. Don't forget about it. Ukraine will win. Thank you for curiosity. Thank you for interest. And write if you are from other country than Ukraine. Write which country are you from. Write it in the comments. It will be interesting to know about our audience and your interest about insects, about moths and butterflies. Thank you for watching. Good luck. See you soon on my channel. Bye bye. Good luck. Thank you for watching.